Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today's video is going to actually be a series that I'm going to compile that's going to be all of the cards in BT8. Yeah, we're doing a card by card review. We're going to look at every single card in the set. Now this time around, I'm going to break it up into colors, and so I'll release a video going over each color, and then I'll do a video also covering both starter decks that come out at the same time as the main set does. So I'm just going to use the same intro for all of them. So just find the video that interests you most, the color, and then watch that one. I'll create a playlist, so if you want to watch them all, you can also watch them all. Don't forget, our memory marker this month that came out is Cocomon. So if you're playing a Cherubimon deck in BT7, or you're going to build a Cherubimon deck in BT8, this is a great memory marker for that deck, I think. Super cute, handmade out of clay by my wife, hand-painted face as well. You can find this on our Etsy store, link in the description below. Also on that store, you can find all of our previous memory markers we've had on the channel, as well as some of our Battle Ready Inc. merch. All right, so we're just going to go in order the way they have it based here. So first up, we have Red, and we got Gurimon here. This is the baby form of Gamamon. So the inheritable of when attacking once per turn. If this Digimon has 6,000 DP or more, trigger draw one. I really like this as a baby. I think it's going to be a new staple in a lot of different Red decks, just because Red doesn't have like the draw power or the search power that other decks have. So having other ways to draw is just really good. There's a few times that you'll actually swing with like your level 5s and things like that, so it's not just for megas. Usually you need that draw power early on. I think this is a good one for now. Next set we get another baby that's more draw power in EX2. That's really good for Gilmon decks, so if you combine that with like Gilmon from the promo Gilmon, that's like a draw 2. But until then, I think this is pretty good, unless you're going to play like a pure Greymon deck. This one's nice just because it's generic, but there's some really specific ones out there for draw power that I think are a little bit better, especially if you're going to be building Black or Greymon this set, red or black. I think the maybe the draw Koromon might be a little bit better than this, but this is just nice because it's so generic. It's good for just kind of any deck. Next we got Gazimon. This is just another generic 0 evo cost, 2 play cost, 3,000 DP. Nothing really new. I think what matters here is that it's a different name and different typing. So if you have stuff that's like really specific about typing, this could be relevant later. I think that's why they keep releasing generics so much, is just that one day all these typings is really going to matter. It matters a little bit now for some stuff, but not that much. But one day these will probably really matter. So probably just good to get a set of just to have on hand. Next we got Gamamon. So this is what the from Ghost Game. I haven't seen Ghost Game yet, but I really want to. So this is one of the main Digimon from that. Your turn, once per turn, when you play a red tamer, trigger, draw one. That's pretty interesting. Similar to what we had with the Bonds decks, right? Where you could play a tamer for like, what, one less memory cost, things like that. But I think they were really specific, like it had to be matte or it had to be tie. This is just nice and generic. Whatever red tamer you want to play, just on play, draw one. So that's pretty cool. Maybe for like a hybrid deck, this could be an interesting card. So like just evo this in raising, promote it up, and then like hard play something. And then the inheritable when attacking, if this Digimon has 6,000 DP or more, destroy one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 DP or less. Now that's really cool. So that's some really good control. Like some of the best rookies in this game that has some of the great effects are all 2,000 DP or less. Memory blockers, memory reduction blockers, all that kind of stuff. You just get a free delete. So was really popular in JP was you use him in like a Jessmon deck, and then you have like a Bao Huckmon that goes on top of him. So then every time you swing with your Jessmon, you're popping two things. You're popping, what was that, 5,000 DP or less and a 3,000 DP or less with a Savior unsuspending, because this isn't once per turn. You could attack twice. You just do massive board nukes with those abilities combined together. But still a very cool card. I think there's definitely room to see some play here. Yellow, I think, what is it? Yellow War Greymon. There's some decks out there that can also benefit from this. Use the level 5s that are also double as yellows, and you go into a Yellow War Greymon that can attack twice. Yeah, pretty powerful stuff there, not being once per turn. Next, we got Hawkmon here. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 2-colored card with red from among them to your hand. Return the remaining cards to the bottom of the deck to the bottom of your deck. It doesn't say in any order like I'm used to. But yeah, so on play, so I think most of the colors got one. Like we have Vmon down here for blue. That's the big popular one most people know of. Reveal 4 and add a duo color. That's pretty good. So it's a pretty big dig into the deck. Really a must-have for some of these decks out here. We're going to get into like the Selfie-mon and things like that. Next, we got a Kilomon. So when playing this card from your hand, if you have a yellow tamer in play, reduce the play cost by 1. These are pretty popular also, this set. These level 4s that get reduced down to 3 play cost. 3 play cost level 4s because of all the Joggers, the DNA Digivolves, the level 5s that are all all over the place. We got the Sylvimons, we've got like the Pyodramons, Chimeramons. So it's all about get spam level 4s onto the field so that way they can Joggers. So this is a really popular mechanic. You're going to see a lot of it in a few different colors here. And then the inheritable when attacking. If you have a yellow Digimon in play, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. So what we're talking about earlier with the Jesmon, the Bao Hukmon, right? He has this ability, but now you have this in something else that isn't Jesmon related. So you can either go into like a Sylphimon here, Joggerus, put this underneath, and that's yellow. It has yellow there. Or the War Greymon strategy, like we were talking about. You can go a red base of rookies and level 4s, and then the Rise Greymons that double as yellows, and then go into a War Greymon, and then you're just like swinging with all this stuff. Like that's some serious board control between the Akilomon as well as the Gamamon there. Like every time you attack, if you're attacking twice with these Digimon, yeah, you can get some real serious board control really quickly. So that's really awesome. Next we got Cyclomon here. This one's really popular in the Black or Greymon decks I've seen. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 2,000 DP or less. I think the reason this is so popular in Black or Greymon though is because it can go in black or red. So get some really good benefits of these duo colors, that sort of thing. But only 2,000 DP or less. I mean, granted, 2,000 DP is like the sweet spot. It needs to at least be 2,000 DP or less, or else you're not going to get as much value. There's just lots of good things that are 2,000 DP rookie-wise. So just another target. I think the Akilomon, of course, is better if you have the yellow Digimon in play though. Whereas Cyclomon is just generic. You don't have to have that stipulation of yellow on the field. You just get that effect. So pretty popular. Next we got Flame Dramon. This is our first of our armors for Vmon. This is so cool. So 3 Evo on top of a red. For a level 4, that's pretty expensive. 3 Evo cost level 4s is not really something you want to do. However, though, having this alternative Evo cost, Digivolve from Vmon for 2 cost, that's pretty good. That overwrites Evo cost. So how that works is this isn't an effect that lets him do that. Normally you couldn't apply effects in the raising area. This is just an alternative Evo cost. Okay, keep that in mind. This is how this works. You can Evo for 2 on top of a Vmon in raising area. I wasn't sure at first. I did have to dig and find out for this. But this is armor release. So this is going to be the first of our armors. So when this Digimon would be deleted, you may trash the top card of this Digimon to prevent this Digimon from being deleted. So you go Evo on top of Vmon, swing in security, it dies to something in security that has more DP. Instead of everything going in the trash, you just basically, it's like de-digivolving. You remove the armor and the armor goes to trash, but the Vmon, whatever rookie, stays on field suspended. So you can just keep Evoing armors repeatedly on top of this same Vmon and just keep attacking with it over and over. So really cool stuff. And also when attacking, this Digimon gains plus 3,000 DP for the turn. Now it says this Digimon gains the DP. So say you swing in here and Flame Dramon dies at 8,000 DP. You have that Vmon. Whatever Digivolves on top of that Vmon, whatever other armor, whatever it may be, keeps that DP buff for the turn. It's the Digimon itself. So even if Flame Dramon gets deleted and you armor release, it still keeps that DP buff.
Ooh, flame dramon, yeah.
All right, next up we got Gamamon here. I actually don't know how to say that. Again, I haven't watched the anime, so I don't know these pronunciations yet. But Gamamon, when Digivolving, Blitz. I mean, okay, that's pretty neat. These Gamamons abilities are really, really interesting on all these level 4s. It definitely, like, gives me armor vibes, but without actually being armors. Very interesting. But 2 Evo cost Blitz. Uh, I don't know. That seems really kind of odd to me, but okay. Uh, I guess we'll just have to see if how the rest of the deck works with it. Just a very odd thing to see. Maybe there's like some kind of not rookie rush, but like a level 4 rush deck that could be worked in interesting. So I don't know. Just have to kind of keep an eye on it, I guess. Now we got Skull Marimon here, level 5, just a 2 Evo vanilla. It's just different ratios. We got a 6 play cost and a 7,000 DP. These used to be really popular like early on in the game, like 1.0 and 1.5, but you really don't see these vanilla level 5s used anymore. Just the effects in this game are so absurdly powerful that it's really weird when people use vanillas. Like, I see people use vanilla rookies. That's okay. But really, if you're using vanillas anywhere else, it just seems odd. That's just really my only opinion on it. I just think there's really good level 5s out there. Why would you hurt yourself by using a vanilla just to save 1 Evo cost? I think you're giving up way too much. Now we got Selfie. So this is super cool. So this is one of our DNA Digivolves, our Jogresses, until we as a community of English players settle on which we're going to call it. It'll probably be DNA Digivolve when the official card game comes out. We're just used to Jogress from the JP format. But DNA Digivolve, 2 level 4s. You got a red level 4 and a yellow level 4. They combine together and make this 0 cost. So that's really good. If you're not familiar with the Jogress mechanic, definitely look up the rules. They're not overly complicated. There's just a lot of them. I think that's the difficult part, is remembering them all. But they're not really anything too crazy. They're just really neat. Normally 4 Evo cost, which is not something you want to do, but 0 Evo cost is very, very nice. When Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 DP for the turn. Then, if this Digimon DNA Digivolve, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. So you can effectively kill anything 10,000 DP or less, or you can kill 2 things that are 5,000 DP or less, just how you kind of depending on how you want to look at it. So really, really cool. I think it's a great control piece, very similar to Rapidmon in a way, but Rapidmon is still different because Rapidmon's an armor, where this is a DNA Digivolved Digimon. I've seen some really cool decks with this, though. It's all like control, so you're doing lots of DP minusing, and then like Rasenmon on top of this. Like, you can do some really, really spicy plays with this. Now, will it be overly competitive? I think that's still to be determined. I think there's definitely some really fun, really interesting rogue possibilities, like 100%. Just how far up in the meta chain it will be is we're still trying to figure that out. Also, I just noticed the background. We have the Gatomon here and the Ankylomon, which is the 2 that DNA Digivolve to make this. So that's really cool that they work the silhouettes into the background. And then the Inheritable, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. So again, you can just do some really, really powerful control. That's like all this piece is just like straight control your opponent's board. I really dig it. In this format where DP is pretty low, on level 4s, and level 3s are coming back, and we're seeing more level 3s again now that we're kind of leaving like the hybrid meta a little bit. You'll be able to get some good use out of this for controlling the board. Next, we got Master Tyrannomon. I would love to see Tyrannomon support. Anytime they throw Tyrannomon support at us, all of us like old green 1.0 players just eat that up. Like, oh, I can play Tyrannomon again for like half a second for 1 locals this week and have some fun. Absolutely. And this thing is really, really actually super good. Your turn, all of your Digimon of Tyrannomon in their name get security attack +1. You combine this with the jamming. If you have a field of jamming Tyrannomon and this guy out with giving them all security attack +1, that's really, really strong. I'm super ecstatic to see that play get pulled off. Definitely going to be something worth keeping an eye out. Now, it is a massive, whopping 4 Evo cost, level 5. Yikes, that sucks. But still, the ability is absurd. All of your Digimon with Tyrannomon in their name get security attack +1. So including himself, Megas, like your Tyrannomon, your actual metal Tyrannomon, or Rust Tyrannomon, sorry. Yeah, and then the inheritable security attack +1. So even if you want to Digivolve on top of him with a Rust Tyrannomon, you'll still get that ability. Now, also, I did forget this for a moment, but remember, we can reduce the Evo cost of our Tyrannomons. So that is actually probably the reason he's a 4 Evo cost, is because you actually can reduce his Evo cost in a Tyrannomon deck. So yeah, super cool support. I wish we would get another Rust Tyrannomon. I think we're due for a redo and a more modern version. We're going out into BT10 here soon, and we've only have a single Rust Tyrannomon, and he was a huge favorite. He's still a favorite, so we need an updated one, I think. Now we got Ultimate Brachiomon here. This thing is terrifying. Like, this is straight up Zoids right here almost. Look at all these like jets and things all over him. 3 Evo cost Mega, pretty standard. But for a vanilla, wow, okay. 13,000 DP though. You're paying 1 extra memory to get 1 extra 1,000 DP over the other vanillas. It's okay. It probably just won't get used. This is probably just a filler card. It is a common. It's not even an uncommon. So yeah, maybe there's weird combinations out there. There's some weird decks sometimes that you just have to meet these really odd requirements. 13,000, and he's also doubles as a black. I mean, that right there just screams Sunazaramon to me. So maybe there's something there, maybe. Next we got Marsmon here. This guy looks super sweet. I don't think I've ever seen this guy. I don't know if he killed our boy here or what is going on with this hat. But yeah, level 6, 3 Evo cost, 11,000 DP. Your turn. This Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Interesting. Again, a lot of these pieces, if you can throw some piercing under there somehow, some way, cards like this get really, really powerful. The second you give them piercing and they can attack unsuspended Digimon, that's really, really good stuff. But as is, meh. All right, this thing is super cool. This is one of our 4 sovereigns. I had to look at it. I knew what it was, but I still had to look at it. When Digivolving, your opponent chooses one of their Digimon. Delete all Digimon in play except this Digimon and the chosen Digimon. Gain 1 memory for each Digimon deleted by this effect. I think that's one of the best things about the sovereigns is that every time you Digivolve into them, they have some interesting mechanic that gains memory back to keep it on your side. We got a Zulongmon that gains for everything without sources, and it trashes sources to help make sure that happens. We got Eben Wumon that you gain a memory for everything suspended on your opponent's side of the field, and you get to suspend 1 thing also. So then this also just being able to do this is really cool stuff. So it just absolutely punishes your opponent for going wide. Now remember, it also deletes your own Digimon. So if you're going to evolve into him, either swing with everything else first on your field, or just have one level 5 that you're going to evo on top of to clear your opponent's field. So really, really cool stuff. And then also your turn, when your opponent's Digimon are deleted, this Digimon gains security attack +1. For the turn for each of your opponent's deleted Digimon. So again, super hard Azulongmon vibes. You can definitely tell they're from the same faction for sure. So yeah, I think this is a really interesting tech. We'll have to see if it gets used or not. I don't think we've ever seen it really get too much play, but I think it's definitely worth playing. If you're playing some sort of red deck that's relatively generic, that you can toss this in. Now, if they do it away with side decks, this instantly kind of loses value. But if they keep side decks, this might be an interesting one of in your side deck, I think. depending on your what you're going against, especially at locals where some crazy rogue decks show up. You never know when D Brigade is just going to sit down across from you and you're like, I need a board wipe, because that's when you definitely want to do it, and this guy is great for that. So that's actually a really cool card. I'm really digging it. I'm also going to cover the duo colors here that are red. We've got Halseymonn here that goes with the Hawkmon that we saw earlier for red. So when digivolving from Hawkmon, for you can Evo on top of Hawkmon, sorry, for 2 cost. So it's another one of our armors. We have Armor Release, which we've gone over. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. So all those other Hawkmon like cards, the Ankylomon and stuff like that, where we're deleting stuff, this is just another way. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. We're like restricting it to DP on this one. It's just a flat like level 3 Digimon. You get to delete it. So I mean, it's a neat control piece. I haven't really seen any Hawkmon focus decks out there, but maybe there's something, someone's brewing something somewhere. Now we got Dino-Humon. This thing is, a lot of people are really kind of anticipating this card. So 2 Evo on yellow or red. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP for the turn. We've seen this sort of card in other forms and fashions, but you can really kind of use these benefits a lot more because of all the new DP minusing cards. So definitely kind of keep an eye on this. This could be pretty potent stuff. The fact that it's also a red card is, I think, what really matters. We've seen it in yellow a ton, but like seeing more of this in red could really be pretty interesting for sure, where some combos are out there. Now we also have Shurimon, which is another Hawkmon armor for us. So Evo on top of Hawkmon for 2 cost. Armor Release, cool. When digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon with blocker cannot attack and block until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay, that's I don't know. It's not that great. It's 2 Evo on top of a Hawkmon. You get to stun a blocker. We barely see blockers like in this game at this point. So stunning a blocker isn't that big a deal. I think what could be kind of interesting is like against an X antibody deck where they get blocker for, inheritables and things like that. And maybe it would be good then, like stun out a level 6 mega. That could be kind of neat. I just wish Shurimon was a little bit better. And then when he came out in the anime, I was like, oh, he's super cool. I really like him. But I don't know. This card is just meh. It's okay. Moving on for next red cards, we got Spinalmon here. Another just vanilla. It's like the same thing we saw earlier. We got that 13,000 DP for 3 Evo cost mega. I don't know. If you know any strategies like that really specialize with this, let me know. Like I said, the black one with Sunazera, it kind of seemed interesting to me, but besides that, I'm not really sure. Next, we got Metal Greymon here. This one's really good. When digivolving, trigger de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 DP or less. Now, it doesn't have to be the same one for that. So you can de-digivolve like a Mega and then go over here and then look at a rookie and pop the rookie. So I like not generic, just the... kind of generic ability where it's like multi-use, so I can apply this to different things. Is really good. But 4 Evo cost is really expensive, but you can use stuff to like lower this, like things like Nokia and whatnot. If you're going to be running this in a Greymon focused deck, that's when you're really going to see this shine with like Nokias and being able to reduce that Evo cost. Normally 4 Evo cost for this kind of ability seems about right, but then the idea of also being able to reduce that Evo, that feels really good at that point. So that's cool, just with when digivolving effect, but also the inheritable your turn. While this Digimon has Dragonkin or Machine in its type, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. That's really good. Blue has cards that can do this, but they have to have no Digivolution source. This doesn't care. It just gets it, whether you have sources or not. So ideally, this is like something used in like a Greymon deck, but it can also be used in like a Machine Dramon deck. Machine Dramon, Chaos Dramon, those are machines, and they're going to get this inheritable, so they can start attacking over. They're going to have stuff like piercing and whatnot from your other Metal Greymon inheritables. This is a great card. Honestly, this is a fantastic card for several different decks, and I really like when they can have cards that work in multiple different decks, but it's not like so generic like Hammer Spark. I can run this in any blue deck ever. No, it's still specific for these certain archetypes, but they can fit in multiple different archetypes, like the Greymons and the Machine Dramons and things like that. So I wish they would do more cards like this that are more multifaceted. Now we got Black War Greymon as another potential red card. 4 Evo cost, again, pretty expensive, but again, when you're able to reduce the Evo cost, not too bad. 12,000 DP, fairly respectable for a Mega. Again, if you're playing it in the red lineup, you're going to have tons of DP boost, so this like literally doesn't even matter. When Digivolving, if there is a red card in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you may choose your opponent's Digimon. If there is a black card in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you may choose your opponent's Tamers. Then delete any number of your opponent's or any number of chosen cards whose level or whose total play cost adds up to 6 or less. So you can get multiple pops here, like target a 3 play cost rookie and like a 3 play cost tamer, whatever the situation calls for. I like, again, how generically useful this is. I can apply it to multiple different situations. It's not like, oh, this is really good in that one situation that I'm just waiting for it to come up. I'm just like, when this guy hits the field, it's like, I don't care what you got, I'm deleting something, like I'm gonna get something somewhere. And I really like that about him. All turns, once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon are deleted, you can unsuspend this Digimon. Now you got to be careful with this, because the when Digivolving can delete a Digimon. If you Evo into this, pop a Digimon, then attack and delete another Digimon, you don't get your unsuspend. You have to be careful with your pops, or else you might miss your unsuspend. So you might even swing with the level 5 first to try to like swing over a suspended Digimon, then Evo into the Black War Greymon to delete something else and unsuspend. So just make sure you don't mess up this ability and miss your timing on it for the deletion effect. But yeah, he's a great card. I'm really interested and looking forward to seeing what people are going to come up with him, black or red or both. Also, his ability works really well if you have like a duo color underneath. So if you have red and black, you're going to trigger both those abilities at once. Now we got Yo Lee here from our back to our Adventure 2. Start of your turn, if you have a red Digimon in play, gain 1 memory. So 3 play cost. It's not quite on par with a memory fixer to gain at 4 play cost. Only going to gain you 1 memory, but it's start of your main phase. I think this is the first step where we see this. Start of your main phase. So it's after draw. It's after your raising. So if you promote up a red out of raising, then after that is when her ability triggers at the start of your main phase. You can gain 1 memory. So promote up out of raising, then gain that memory. Very powerful stuff. Then your turn, when your Digimon with 2 or more colors attacks, you can suspend this Tamer to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 DP or less. Can you guess who her Digimon is? This is Hawkmon's Tamer. So clearly, combining with like the Ankylomons and the I forget the what was the other red one that we saw there. Yeah, the Halseymonn here, really works with deleting your opponent's Digimon. Just an insane amount of board control. An insane amount of board control. I really like this for sure. And this could be used in other decks as well, right? When your Digimon with 2 or more colors attacks, you can suspend this Tamer. So it's like, it doesn't matter what those 2 colors are, as long as it's a duo color, you can suspend her and delete a level 3 or a 3,000 DP or less. So I like the genericness of it. Now the gain is specific to red. So if you have a red Digimon in play, gain 1 memory. So the gain is at least restricted a little bit. So it's not too generic. Now we got Hero here, and 4 play cost. So he is a memory fixer with that big old 4 play cost. But then your turn, when one of your Digimon with Gammamon in its name or your level 5 or higher Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Tamer to give one of your Digimon plus 2,000 DP for the turn. Just helps you hit over other things. And just kind of, again, more generic than Tai. Tai can be a little bit limited at times to give that security attack +1, whereas Hero here can just give you a 2,000 DP buff instead. So that's really nice. Again, though, most is going to be dependent on having a relatively large Evo stack or, a high level Digimon in play to trigger either or. So again, I don't know if there's like a wrong choice. Both memory fixers for red seem pretty good. Now for our options here, we got Fire Rocket. While your Digimon with armor in its trait is in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. So again, you're going to be probably playing this in something like a Vmon Armor Rush deck, and 1 play cost. Give one of your Digimon with 2 or more colors gain security attack +1 for the turn. So any of your armors, like it's meant for Flame Dramon clearly, but you can use this on any of them. So your Ragermon or your Magnamon. So any of those you're going to be able to get this benefit with. So this security attack +1 can be huge, especially on a armor, because even if the armor dies on the first check, then you just armor release, and then your Digimon, your second one will hit as well. Really spicy if you combine that with jamming Vmon. So oh my god, the power there of that combo of just get that security attack +1. I mean, you can literally like Armor Rush, like Vmon Armor Rush is going to be a contender. Like with Fire Rocket here, swing with Vmon. Jamming Vmon, security check. Evo into one of your armors. Use the Duo Tamer to unsuspend. Play a Fire Rocket to give it security attack +1. Swing a second time, right, with that security attack +1. That's going to give you 2 checks. Even if it dies on the first one, the jamming Vmon's then going to hit and check another security. So that's 3 security checks right there off of like 1 Digimon. I mean, 1 like essentially rookie that evos into a level 4. That's pretty nasty. That's pretty nasty. Depending on how much memory you start with, you can potentially do that whole combo again. Whether you have a Davis and Ken, or you're using one of the other option cards that unsuspend. Yeah, you can use armor texture to unsuspend. There's some really good combos out there. Fire Rocket, a fantastic red card for sure for armors. Now we got Static Force. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. If you have a Digimon with 2 or more colors in play, or a Digimon with a Digivolution card with 2 or more colors in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 7,000 DP or less. It's okay. It's only a 3 play cost. It's not like overly powerful. Being able to delete something 7,000 DP or less for 3 play cost, it's okay. At best, you're gonna get a couple good pops every so often, but I think there's just better removal. I think I would rather play like maybe like a Giga Blaster or Atomic Blaster and just be able to delete multiple targets for like the guaranteed and doesn't require any sort of setup. Would probably be my more ideal one. Or this one here, Crimson Blaze. 6 play cost, so double that, but reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each Digimon your opponent has in play. So, I mean, it's basically a 5 play cost on any given day if you're only deleting one thing. But you're probably going to play this when your opponent has 2 or more Digimon. So instantly 4 play cost. I mean, that's 1 more play cost than the other one. And then delete all of your Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. Then your opponent can't play Digimon by effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. So like a whole second effect. So we get that delete. It's 1,000 DP less than this one. But it just deletes one thing, right? Where I get an extra 1,000 DP on that target, but this just blanks your whole opponent's field. This is one of the most powerful like wide board removal cards I've ever seen in this game. This is, if you want a removal card for some low level targets, Crimson Blaze is the way to go. Don't go Static Force, go Crimson Blaze every single time. Because like literally you have 2 targets on field and it's almost like instantly more valuable than Static Force. Very, very great card. And then the last card on our list here is Dark Gaia Force. 8 play cost. Choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total play cost adds up to 15 or less and delete all of the chosen Digimon. So you can target one big thing like a normal Gaia Force. It's play cost. So play cost, I don't think there's anything in the game with more than 15 play cost. So you can target even like the Susanomon, right? You can hit that off of it, or you can just hit your opponent's whole field. So they have like a whole bunch of rookies doing some sort of rookie rush, deep brigade shenanigans, and they've got, you know, all these 3-play cost, 2-play cost stuff out there. Just like that's a big board wipe right there. Or if you want to think of it like Atomic Blaster, being able to delete 2 things with 8,000 DP or less. Most of those Digimon are around 7 play cost roughly, so you can still get the same value there as well. I think this is a great card. It's so generically just multifaceted. Usefulness is just wonderful. I think this is a great card. I'm surprised it didn't see that much play in JP. Honestly, I'm very, very shocked it didn't see much play in JP. I think this card's great. If you're playing security control with black as the base, like you're using the what is it, the Chikurimons that de-digivolve 1 when hidden security, and so you're playing some rookie or some black babies to go with it, like Dark Guy Force seems like a very good card in those security control decks as one of your big removal targets. So great card. Really liking red. It's got some great stuff here. It's got a lot of duds, but it's also got some really cool stuff. I'm really liking the whole Selfie thing. That combo is great. The Master Tyrannomon is super great. The board wipes is crazy. Between our Sovereign here, I'm not going to try to save that name. Nope, I almost did it. Nope, not going to do it. Or the option there, and of course our Flame Dramon. Just some really fantastic cards for red this set.